What does it look like when a man spends his entire life preaching the gospel and then faces the end of his own? Today, we're talking about Pastor Steve Gaines, former president of the Southern Baptist Convention, longtime senior pastor of one of the most storied churches in America, and a man who is now in hospice care as his battle with cancer reaches its final chapter. This one hits different. If you're not familiar with the name Steve Gaines, let me give you some context, because this is not just any pastor. Steve Gaines has been the senior pastor of Bellevue Baptist Church in Memphis, Tennessee, since 2005. And if you know Southern Baptist history, you know what that means. Bellevue Baptist is legendary. It was the pulpit of Adrian Rogers, one of the most respected preachers the SBC has ever produced, for over 30 years. When Adrian Rogers passed away in 2005, the question on everyone's mind was, who fills that pulpit? The answer was Steve Gaines. Before Memphis, Gaines spent 14 years, from 1991 to 2005, as pastor of First Baptist Church in Gardendale, Alabama, just north of Birmingham. Under his leadership, that church grew, bought over 100 acres along Interstate 65, and eventually built a campus with a 125-foot stainless steel cross that you can see lit up at night from the highway. That's a legacy you can literally see from the road. And this move to Memphis? It was actually a homecoming of sorts. Gaines grew up near Memphis. His wife Donna grew up there. Her parents were members of Bellevue Baptist. They met as students at Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. So taking that pulpit wasn't just a career move, it was deeply personal. In 2016, Steve Gaines was elected president of the Southern Baptist Convention, the largest Protestant denomination in the United States. He served 2 one-year terms through 2018. That's a significant role during a significant time. The SBC was navigating major conversations about church leadership, mission, and its direction as a denomination. One of the things that defined Gaines in that role, and really throughout his entire ministry, was his passion for evangelism. Not the kind you put on a church sign, the kind that gets uncomfortable. Former SBC President Bart Barber shared a story about the first time he met Gaines, the day Gaines nominated him for the presidency. And I want you to hear this because it tells you everything about the man. Barber said Gaines looked at him with an intensity that made him uncomfortable and said, "I just need to know one thing. Do you share the gospel with people? Because I just can't help it. I share the gospel with everyone I meet. People are going to hell, and someone has to rescue them." Folks, I share the gospel routinely, but I knew I didn't measure up to the kind of zeal Steve was talking about. I answered yes, but I felt guilty later about not answering. Yes, but I will do better now that we've talked. That was the day he said he had truly come to respect Steve Gaines. That story. That's the man we're talking about today. Now here's something a lot of people don't know. Steve Gaines's battle with serious health issues didn't start with cancer. Back in 2000, when he was still in Gardendale, Gaines was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, a muscle disease that left him struggling to stand and keep his eyes open. Think about that for a second. A preacher who can barely stand up. He had surgery to remove a tumorous thymus gland, went on medication, and gradually, by the grace of God, as he would say, regained his strength. The church stood behind him. They kept growing. Over 3,000 people weekly. He fought through that, and he kept going. Then, in 2023, the news came again. Kidney cancer. And later, it spread to his lungs. Over the past couple of years, Gaines has been receiving treatment while continuing to share updates with his congregation and ask for prayer. Even as his health declined, he transitioned to a pastor emeritus role at Bellevue, stepping back from day-to-day responsibilities while the church continued to move forward. And now, hospice care. Bellevue Baptist Church has communicated this to its members. Dear Bellevue family, we have an update for you regarding Brother Steve Gaines, our pastor emeritus. Steve's health has declined, and he has been placed on hospice care as he continues his battle with cancer. This is obviously a very difficult time for Steve and his family. Because of that, the family has requested not to have any visitors so they can focus on spending meaningful time together and caring for him in these days. What they have specifically requested is prayer. Please join us in faithfully praying for Steve, for Donna, and for their entire family, that the Lord would surround them with his peace, comfort, and strength. Pray that God's presence would be especially near and that his grace would sustain them through this time. Brother Steve has faithfully served the Lord and shepherded so many people through the years. He's been a great pastor, mentor, and friend. Let's honor him and his family by lifting them up before the Lord. Thank you for standing together in prayer with us. Ben Mandrell. The church in Gardendale posted about it on their Facebook page with these words: "It is with heavy hearts we share with you that our dear former pastor and friend Brother Steve Gaines has been placed on hospice care as he continues his battle with cancer," Gardendale First Baptist posted on its Facebook page. "Our lives will never be the same because of their anointed ministry," the church statement said. Please join with us as we pray for the entire family that God would surround them with his comforting presence, sustaining grace, and divine peace. They've asked that the family's privacy be respected. No visitors at this time. I want to be honest with you. Hospice care is end-of-life care. It means the focus has shifted from trying to cure the disease to keeping someone comfortable and at peace. It means the family is gathering. It means the goodbyes are coming. And I think it's worth pausing to just sit with that. Steve Gaines spent decades calling people to faith. He preached to thousands every week. He led one of the most influential denominations in the country. He fought through one serious illness and came back. And now he's facing the end. And from everything we know about this man, he's facing it the same way he lived, with faith. Throughout his cancer journey, Gaines has repeatedly expressed gratitude for prayers and encouragement from believers around the world. His wife Donna has been by his side through all of it, and the communities he served, in Gardendale, in Memphis, and across the SBC, are praying. So if you're watching this and you're a person of faith, would you take a moment and pray for Steve Gaines, for Donna, for their family? That God would surround them with what the Gardendale Church called his comforting presence, sustaining grace, and divine peace. And if you're not a person of faith, I'd still invite you to consider the life of a man who believed so deeply in something that he couldn't stop telling people about it. Even when it made others uncomfortable, that kind of conviction is rare. Steve Gaines has spent his life pointing people toward eternity, and now he's walking toward it himself. We'll keep you updated as more information comes in. If this video meant something to you, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. Let's hold this family in our thoughts. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.